Um, with that, so they undergo a small ritual and an induction ritual, actually, for you, Patrick, to join the House of the Golden Places, in which they present to you a leather knapsack with the same uh, symbol put upon it, indented in it. And they say that the sack itself is actually magicked. What it does is by giving the command word refuge, spoken in any sort of tongue, the pack actually opens itself. Hmm. It whisks the wielder and a few individuals into. They explain it's a pocket dimension which looks like a delightful home made of gold in which someone can rest and recuperate and even sometimes hide for a period of 12 hours before the spell runs its course. It can be done once every 24 hours. Um, but it is the gold itself is an illusion. You can't actually start taking pieces off the wall and like sell it, but it's pretty much a representation of what the dimensional plane looks like. And otherwise, it just temporarily takes you outside of reality, puts you someplace else, time passes, and you show back up 12 hours later in the exact same location, or sooner if you choose to give another command word and dismiss the spell, for lack of a better word. In addition, they also teach you the Kriyat, uh, the what you call Ed, the Kriyat. It's a word in order to uh, change its detection abilities. So right now it is on the setting called Woe, W-O-E, Woe, for supernatural. And if you say the word Wayne, W-A-I-N, Woe and Wayne. If you say the word Wayne, it will search to detect magical items. And of course, the stronger the power, the more vibration it gives, much like the supernatural.
I
Groovy?
personally am jealous.
You're getting a new body, all right?
Yeah, it's
I
true.
know,
Back up.
I know, but that pack is so fucking awesome.
Yes.
Ugh.
Are you
Okay.
happy, Piff? Are you good? Piff, are you muted again? Did you miss everything I say, Piff?
Yeah.
No, no, I just muted myself. Excuse me.
All right, it's all good.
I'm not jealous.
Um,
I think Al wouldn't think he deserves something like that. He doesn't have
I,
anything to offer.
I was literally going on my other side. You can wield magic with your mind.
Yeah.
F you.
All right. Anyway,
But
go ahead.
it's psychic. It's not magic.
Active, yes. All right. So, with that, the meal is over. Trudalt says that as a member of the House of the Golden Places, you can approach any of the individuals here, and we will share our knowledge. And the only thing that we ask is if we approach you, you share your knowledge with us. That's how it works, right? Each of us is the database. Another reason why we're so secret is because we don't write any of this shit down. Well, no, that's not true. They write stuff down, but they don't communicate to each other via radio, via data, or anything like that. They write down their own notes, of course, and they share the notes with each other, but the notes themselves don't say anyone's names. It's just basically what they found, how they found it, and then they would just give it to you, right? Uh, so that's another reason why they're secret, because they only communicate face to face. So that helps. That helps with the lack of infiltration quite a bit.
Al would ask, if we come across a magical artifact that we're having trouble identifying or understanding, is there a way to draw upon those of your order to help with that? Obviously,
Yes.
and still maintain the secrecy needed?
Uh, The only way we are identified is by that symbol. Of course, for the sake of our security, we do not disclose a list of where our members are because truly sometimes they're out and about. A part of the ritual itself is a simple hand sign that is given as a flash. Think of like the Freemason secret handshake. Similar to that, where it's just a small flash of the fingers. Two fingers pointed upward in a circular crest motion. That's just kind of given as just a quick flip of the wrist. That is what you can sign to a suspected other member, and if they return it, then it is confirmed. Well, no, that's not true. They would have to confirm it with another hand sign, another different hand sign, which you are disclosed, which the GM hasn't figured out yet. But pretty much, there's a secret handshake. There's a secret sign that two people give to confirm whether they're a member of the house or not, and that's what you learn. So, but there's no notes of being like, oh yeah, go see Fred. He's over in Laszlo. They don't. That's
Right.
not how they're run. That is definitely not how they're run. Once again,
Yeah.
can you imagine if an enemy of them found that list? They'd all be dead.
Mm.
They're
No,
very.
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Hey, even a hand sign of suspected people is fine. That's at least better than no. An owl would definitely not want to impede their secrecy. So
Nope. Especially since one of them's now your friend. Anyways, so they undergo the ritual. They give you that gift, that boon. They teach you the words to Ed. We'll still call him Ed, but the official word is Kriat.
How do you spell
And-
that, by the way?
ED.
And that's that. Of course, you are free to ask any more questions, but that kind of ends that little scene there, that little meeting.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I guess I would ask them if they know anything else about the piece of armor.
Wait,
The
Your piece of armor?
yes.
You
I'm
found
not-
Mhm.
I guess I would probably ask them about names and functions of the armor that I found, and probably the ring, and rock probably, because I
Well-
probably still have that hauling around.
The thing is that they don't know any more functions. It looks like you discovered them all because you say like, "Oh, I found this. This is what I know it can do." And for as much as they know, that's the same thing.
Mhm.
And as for the names of them, honestly, with the exception of the rock, which is sometimes called a magma stone,
Mhm.
they're relatively common magic item. If any magic can really be seen as common. As for the ring itself, they have no record. The 5 of them, I guess you could say, don't have any knowledge of that ring. They know as much as you do, and the same of the armor. So if it has a true name, they don't know it.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So, that was, you just checking out the symbol. So we got that checked off on your list.
Oh boy.
Kidnapped
I-
and initiated into a secret
4
society,
days in an hour.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? No, I'm kidding.
I don't. I didn't figure you guys would actually do this or not. I'm sorry. Jeez. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry I did something that was applicable to Piss backstory. I'm the
Hey,
worst.
you know
GM
what?
ever.
You want to know something else? I love it. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
What do you think is brilliant?
Then why does it scare me?
No, I
that.
thought it was
Yeah.
cool.
I thought it was neat.
Okay.
I thought it was really neat. Yeah.
Anyways, I know, I'm giving you a hard time. Okay, so we'll maybe leave it at that, unless there's anything else you want to do over at Trudalt's place. But we can just move on to the rest of your day. You had lunch. It's like 1 o'clock now after all this has
We need
gone
to.
on.
Yeah, I believe we need to stop by and pick up the lightsabers and then
Yes.
meet our
Bruce.
contact.
All right.
Yeah.
So now you'll have to refresh my memory because this is the one thing I didn't write down. How many did you have did you ask? No, you asked Big Bruce to make as many as he could, right?
No, actually, I make one for each of us. Al, Patrick, Mila, Tom, Pam, and I don't remember if Alicia wanted one or
Alicia
not.
wasn't interested.
Yeah, so
It's a toy. She's not crazy about the toy, so.
so 5 of them.
Okay. All right. He would have definitely had enough time to make 5 of them. And I'll even be as kind enough to assume he could really make, since it's just light, really is what it is. He goes. So, okay, let's just play out the scene. You show up at. Just give me a moment. Ooh. You show up at. I can never remember it. Its damn name.
Yeah, neither can I.
Ignite Services. Ignite.
right,
I know it's
yeah.
always fire, and I always want to say something else, but Ignite Services. You show up to Ignite Services, and you find once again the crew that you initially approached, and you see Big Bruce there. And when you see him, he gives a big smile, and he, plods on over, and he goes, "I am very happy with my work. Please, one moment." And he brings you 5 of these. Well, the handles definitely look like that. Now, 3 of the handles seem to be made of like a burnished aluminum, and 2 of them seems to be made of a darker, like almost like a ceramic material that's almost completely black. And he says, "These I made out of old casings of other such things, but studying the movies, I was very careful to solder the right points, and his craftsmanship is actually quite good, really. It is not identical because there's only a few close-ups of lightsabers in the Phantom Menace, but from all you can tell from just watching the same movie, yeah, this looks about right? And he flicks on the switch, and on one of them, a bright green glow emanates. It's about 4 feet long, and sure enough, it does cut off to the point. It unfortunately, the only thing that Bruce is hesitant on, and he says with a disappointment, "I was able to cut off the holographic light. That is how I made it to look like this and keep this shape. This truly is just a holographic projector for this beam of light, something that could be manufactured easily enough by me. The only problem was the sound. I could find no way to replicate it, so I simply had to record some homemade sounds that I made that sound like when these light swords were activated." And so what it was is what he did is that, that whoosh and that hum? What it is, the hum is the hum of a radiator of a car, which he doesn't tell you what it is, so you can't be like, "Oh, that's just a radiator of a car," right? But it's pretty close. It's not spot on, but
Right.
it's close. The whoosh, on the other hand, sounds a little metallic and grindy. It's not awful, but it clearly isn't exactly like it is in the movies.
That's fine.
But and so there's a green one, of course. The other 4, they can be any color, so you guys can choose whatever color of holographic lightsaber you would like.
One question I would ask: were you able to make it so that they can bang against each other, or do they pass through everything?
Ah, yes, he says, "I was able to create some sort of small microchip interface within it. So if it came across another hologram, unfortunately, I couldn't differentiate between a specific hologram of another sword that I made. It's just any other holographic light. It does react to it, and it flashes and it sparks. So
Ooh.
he takes 2, and he says, "See, so when it hits any hologram, it gives that little jolt. And, of course, the entire sword itself lights up, and another sound effect of a crash comes emanating from the lightsaber handle." So there you are. You know what he says? And because it works for any holograph, you could use this always. If you are, he gives a bit of a joke. He says, "If you suspect any of your friends are holographic, just poke them with this sword, and then you will know."
And Al says, "That's a very good idea. Thank you."
Very welcome.
Al will take it and start poking Tom.
Hey,
Surprise! It
Hey.
makes sounds.
It was a hologram this entire time.
surprise?
Al will, if no one minds, take one of the ones with the black hilt and green blade.
Okay. Cool. So, what color does everyone want?
Purple.
Purple. Okay.
Purple.
Do you want
Like
a silver
wind.
handle or a black handle?
Silver.
Okay. All right, Tommy.
Tommy.
I'm just gonna go with the theme. Huh?
Uh-huh. The theme.
I know what I want. I'm
You're-
going with the rest of the theme of Tom. Red lightsaber with black handle.
You
There we
evil,
go.
evil man.
I know.
He's a Sith. Kill him. All right.
Oh,
and
God.
Patrick.
Silver handle with green beam.
Okie doke. And then I'll have Pam decide what color she wants, if she wants one. If not, then you have a spare lightsaber.
Just for a
I
special.
mean, light sword. I mean, laser sword. That's
Laser
lightsaber
sword.
copyrighted.
No, I think we're already shut
Yeah.
off. I think the stream's already been killed.
That's it.
Streams down. No.
Yep.
Thanks,
Stream's
George Lu.
down.
Thanks, Disney. Anyway, um,
I guess for a bit, somebody asked me actually about a week ago or more what exactly Patrick's favorite color is, and I had to think about it. It's like green, probably.
there you
So
go.
that's a
Al's
thing.
favorite color.
So the manufacturing of these wasn't too bad. They're about 500 a piece. So that's about 2,500.
It's not bad.
Okay. Do you want me to deduct it, or
Yeah, go ahead.
somebody else is doing that? Okay.
No,
I'll do
yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm not doing it.
All right. And you know what? Okay, so but I'm gonna finish off the scene with one last thing. With when you're about to go, when you finish paying them, Big Bruce, this big, towery, goofy-looking guy, kind of pushes aside his shirt, the big black shirt that was hanging around him, and you see another toy lightsaber hanging from his hook, and he says,
Aw.
"May the Force be with you." And he gives a little bit of a bow, and then he.
And Patrick will do the same.
Al will probably a bit clumsily. Well, I guess not because he's a dagger guy, but this thing doesn't weigh anything, so he would flourish it and bow.
Cute.
Nora's holding the lightsaber, kind of turn around from the rest of the group and is like looking at it, like inspecting it, and like kind of like without them knowing, trying to like go like swing it a little bit.
Secret swings.
And Nora's adorable.
Just like big bellowing noise. Boom.
Well,
All right. So with that, all right. So that's checked off. What else did you guys want to do for the day?
The black market contact to try and find
Oh,
either
God.
anything Patrick might want or the hacking electronic devices kit. Or electronic
right.
locks is what I should be specific in that. Because I can't hack computers. I can only hack locks.
All right. So just as a refresher, then your contact's name is Julian. He's that kind of mid-30s guy with the pompadour haircut, who works over at the Bronze Carriage. And he did say, "Hey, if you ever want to contact me, well, just come on by, say hi. Well, I'll take a break. I'll come talk to you." So, do you do that?
Yes.
All right. As the entire group too?
Unless they don't want to come.
I'll go back to the behemoth. I'm not interested
I-
in the black market thing.
If it depends on how you word it. If you go like black markets specifically, Patrick will look nervous and probably not want to go.
He didn't say. Al didn't say black market. He said my contact to and said that might be able to get things you couldn't in normal stores. I don't know what you would get from that.
He will probably think specialty store and go with.
Al has been kind of cautious just calling it it's an ugly word, black market.
Yeah, it holds things like people with knives.
Yeah. Yeah. What about
Yes.
Nora?
Nora's probably gonna, I guess, meander around. I don't know if she'd go with the group though.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck it, she'll go. Why not?
Okay. All right. All right. So, all right. So you show up at the bronze carriage in which Julian is helping load a person onto the carriage itself, and just saying, "Oh, hey, you have a great time." And the driver takes him away, and he spots you guys, and he goes, "Hey, Chief, are you here for a carriage ride?" He asks you, Al, specifically.
Yeah. More or less.
Oh, okay. All right. So what you're saying is I should probably take a break in about 10 minutes, eh?
Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. These are your new friends here, yeah?
Well, not new friends to me, but yes, they're very, and Al kind of winks, trusted friends.
Ah, okay. Well, if you say so. Well, you know where we met last time. Meet me there in about 15 minutes or so. There, I'll see you then.
I will see you as well.
And as he's about to go, he takes a quick double look back at Mila for a moment. Kind of gives her a bit of an eyebrow raise, like a hubba eyebrow raise. And then he heads back inside the little carriage dispatch office there. And I think it's fair enough to just assume the next scene is you guys meeting him in the alleyway, about, I don't know, it'd be about 70 feet away from the actual establishment itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nora
Okay.
would just give Al a little look like, really? This is your contact.
Al will literally shrug and say, "You don't get to be very choosy in these kind of situations."
Did you just find him in a trash bin?
He'll smile a little bit and
story. Lee
say, "Not
introduced me
far
to him."
off."
And
Very
Lee was in the trash bin, so kind of.
Yeah, he's purposely not explaining how he found this content.
All right. Anyway. All right. Any other in-character stuff you guys want to discuss with yourselves before Julian shows back up?
I think Al would talk to Patrick and say, "Patrick, this is an opportunity to get any sort of electronical or technological device you may find hard, that may be hard for you to find in normal stores, be it rare or slightly illegal. If there's anything that comes to mind that you might need, now would be the time to tell me."
Oh, I don't know anything about illegal stuff, but let's see if I want anything in general.
Patrick. About illegal stuff.
I don't want anything illegal, guys. Come on. Let's see. My gosh, would he want anything electric? Well, actually, he probably then go back and be like, well, I would like to see exactly how their programs work for any sort of manipulation of systems.
I'm not sure that I could convince someone to show you, but we might be able to convince them to sell us a copy of some sort of hacking program, and then you could look at it on your own time.
Oh man, I always wanted to actually. I always had to go like that card thing. I had to actually just go around and make my own thing. If I could actually find like one of those cards that can actually like send out multiple signals.
Al will clap on his shoulders and go, "My friend, that is precisely why we're here." He'll say, Alzal, "I've been tinkering with locks for a long time now, and I think that we are here precisely because I want to try and get a kit that will help us do exactly as you say on electronic locks."
I should have gone back to the behemoth with Tom. Nora just kind of like zoning out while they're talking.
Okay.
Dude, it will probably turn to me as like, do you want to would you want to do a little rave while we wait? Patrick
Maybe
does like absolutely awkward, awful like white man dance steps.
Nora actually kind of chuckles and just shakes her head and says, "Maybe some other time, Patrick."
Okay.
All right. All right. So Julian saunters on by to the alley. He goes, so I see a few new faces, huh?
Yes. They are simply part of my group and weren't with me
Mhm.
last time. We've been had a very busy day, and I've helped them on some errands. They're helping me on some.
Yeah, funny thing about that, actually. You know, I'd say about 12, 14 hours after you started asking me about surveillance equipment and slave rings and asked if we were involved, sure enough, one of the biggest slave rings around here actually gets busted. Pretty
Really?
crazy, huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now,
I heard that was Ashwin. What's his last name again? Ashwin
Calabar.
Calabar. I heard that was all Ashwin Calabar's doing.
Yeah. But I hear some things. I know some people. You know how the street rumors are and whatnot. And they say that some people tipped old Ashwin off. But
Oh.
hey, what do I know, huh?
Well,
it's
and
probably
Al
not you
kind of
guys,
stretches. He
that's fine.
says, "Well, like you said, a lot of people out there that hate slavers."
Yeah, fair enough. But we're not talking about slavers here right now, are we? What are we talking about? What do you need for old Julian for, huh?
Well, I was wondering if you had any sort of, and Al pauses briefly. I'm looking for a kit that would help me with, oh, I'm not going to be coy, hacking electronic locks. I have the capabilities to deal with normal ones, but ones that are much more technological, I have the skill, I just don't have the equipment.
Oh. And he looks over to the entire group and raises his hand in front of them. What you're suggesting is highly illegal. That's not allowed. That sort of stuff isn't allowed in New Laszlo.
Al just looks at him deadpan.
Do you have ones that are compatible with? And I'll rattle off the particular the in the junkyard. You specifically said that there was a system that was sort of like new that
Mhm.
seemed to like not be on the market, maybe like a prototype or something like that.
Yes.
I would probably
Also,
rattle
like
off
the
that.
same model of the hardware that you found. Oh, I don't know about that there, bud. I mean, that's quite a bit. I mean, finding stuff that isn't, in the marketplace usually is one thing, but this is highly illegal. And I mean, I hear rumors.
Al will
of people
hold his
talking
hands
to
up.
the cops, and
Al will hold his
I get
hands up and
nervous.
say, "All right, what do you need to gain trust?"
He goes, you're a sharp one. Well, I can think of two things, he says. The first one is, best way to do this is to abate my fears that you actually work with any sort of police organization. I think maybe you're telling the truth, maybe you don't actually work with the cops, but I think you're friendly with a couple of them, right? And that makes people nervous, right?
Al would
Not me, just, criminals.
Al
it
would
makes them nervous.
nod and open his coat and take out his just might work. Take out his laser sword
Mhm.
and say, and then he'd activate it and hold it like a sword and say, "Not many cops have hardware like this, and most people who aren't cops but are friendly with them don't generally to bring these kind of things inside a city. Wouldn't you agree?"
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Roll me a percentile dice here.
All right.
He says, yeah. So you might be good smugglers. That's fine, but it's not crazy for people to make a deal with the police or to be friendly. Like I said, I'm not saying that you are cops. I'm just saying that you might have their ear, right? I just want to make sure maybe you don't, right? So the first thing I'm thinking is, well, maybe you do me a favor that pretty much guarantees that you'd be involved with me, right? So if anything were to happen, you'd be equally as responsible as I would, Kind of like we're getting in bed together, so to speak.
That
Right.
is absolutely out of the question. Look, you seem like a nice guy, but
Yeah.
I want our relationship to remain stay strictly a transactional relationship. So
Ah.
if that's not something you can do, and you're fine walking away on the
Whoa,
credits
whoa,
I'm
whoa,
offering,
whoa, whoa! You didn't hear my second one. You didn't hear my second one.
all right.
It does dovetail a little bit about getting in bed together, but not quite. His eyes, his slimy, slimy eyes, slide over to me and it goes, "How about me and you? We go for a date." Hmm?
Al rolls his eyes. My friend, let me just stop you there. She would break you in half. So
Oh, maybe I like that sort of thing. I like a broad that has a set of tough muscles on her.
How about I give you a little piece of what I can do then? Nora's like marching at him.
Al will put a
Whoa,
hand on her
let's
shoulder
see.
and say, "Don't kill him. Just convince him it's not something he wants."
Okay. Nora will punch him.